MovieWeb.com.
Adam McKay,
Danny McBride,
Benjamin Best.
Will Ferrell.
Jody Hill.
Thank you.
Some say Will Ferrell. Most people say Will
It's your
Ferrell.
club name.
Specifically
That's my
Tracy
club.
Morgan.
So I asked, but no one responded really, except for you. What's the secret to being the good ArcLight employee?
Well,
What do we need to know for being here?
Oh wait, what is it? It's this is a place of creativity
Yeah.
and
use I statements, don't generalize. Also, we are
deal with
equally
difficult
responsible.
issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Respect
Develop leadership
confidentiality.
skills.
Don't just, if you hear that someone got pregnant, don't just blab it to the whole staff.
tolerate ambiguity and learning anxiety.
Balance holding on and letting go.
Yeah, that's kind of covers it.
Yeah.
Those are the basic ones.
Profile racially, I think is one.
Yeah. Try to
really teach
try
that
to take a little something from the till for yourself on Sundays.
A little walking around money.
Little walking around change. Sure.
Sweet talk the ladies.
So who could really kick whose
Push
ass
the
behind
diet
the
Sprite.
scenes?
What was the question?
Who could kick whose ass behind the scenes?
Adam and Will actually sandwiched me one day after a pitch we did.
That
together.
wasn't a fight,
That was
though.
pretty scary. Yeah,
true.
pretty scary.
That was more of a sexual fight.
Yeah,
That was.
I did say sandwich.
Jody, you have a black belt, don't you?
I do.
Danny was a
Taekwondo,
ranger.
yeah.
I was a ranger for many years.
Yeah.
27 years as a ranger.
And Ben always has a 9mm on his ankle, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a chip on his shoulder. It's a deadly combination.
It's a bad combination.
Yeah.
So were you one of those young kids that got into it?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I got into it. I wasn't really good
That's
at.
my dad, by the way.
Oh, okay. How you doing, Mr. Farrell?
From another lifetime, right?
Proud of you.
Yeah, I got into it when I was a kid.
You're proud of
me?
Very proud of
took
you.
it taken growing
So
up.
how old were you?
10 or something.
Awkward.
This is incredible.
Just keep saying that.
Can anybody break some bricks today? No.
We could. You guys have some here?
Bricks and hash.
Yeah, what's up?
You know, right, Dad?
It's only my 40th Hollywood High read. The new 30.
Yes, exactly.
What was it you found so intrinsically funny about Taekwondo?
I don't know if there's anything intrinsically funny
I mean,
about
why is
Taekwondo,
Taekwondo funnier than any other martial art?
Taekwondo is what I took, so I mean that's what I do. But I think there's something funny about a strip mall kind of franchise business approach to martial arts rather than some type of Zen.
Yeah, these guys were so specific in the world that they kind of captured that, that's where the humor comes in.
Yeah, I don't think necessarily we were trying to look at Taekwondo and say that's funny. I think it was more of the strip mall dojo instructor that is dispensing wisdom, in this like ancient martial art to, kids that are basically like after school daycare or something, and
In small town North Carolina. Yeah.
Concord.
Concord.
So that's how everyone
if-
says the name there.
Concord.
If anyone's from the Taekwondo Association of America here,
We are not making
We're bringing
not
on.
making fun of you. Honestly.
Will Ferrell says, "Bring it on."
Yeah.
Headline.
Have you had any feedback from the Taekwondo Association of America?
I think you guys did, right?
Yeah, they gave us their approval and said they'd be happy with the film.
If Jody
They haven't
in
seen
the
it.
No comment.
How did the collaboration come together for all of you to work together to make this film?
Well, it started with these guys.
Well, yeah, we all went to film school together at the North Carolina School of the Arts, and after that, we kind of all scattered.
Recently shut down.
For embezzlement.
Yeah, and we kind of scattered our own, for 7 years we were just kind of making ends meet, barely. And then Jody luckily had been saving up money, because Danny and I sure weren't. And he came to town and said, "Hey, you want to make a movie?" And I was like, "I need to do something, because it's falling apart."
Because rehab wasn't working. So let's make a motion picture.
Yeah, let's make a motion picture.
You saved money?
Yeah, I saved about 30 grand, and then I applied for as many credit cards as I could get, which was, it's funny because they start you out with like 17 grand if you have good credit, but then like by the fourth and fifth credit card, it was like $500. I got a bunch of those, and just paid for the movie, and it got into Sundance, and then shortly thereafter, Will and Adam saw it, and
But somehow it was one of those films that kind of didn't get picked up for whatever reasons, and kind of we're like, how did this not get distributed? And we just started Gary Sanchez, and it was kind of a perfect thing for us to be like our first film to be involved with.
And now Danny's been in like 5 or 6 other films, so did you see a star born right there?
Well, they definitely tagged me for commissions. I paid these guys 10% of everything.
Which is standard.
Yeah.
It's standard.
That's what they told
It's
us was standard, yeah. That usually happens that way.
Yeah,
so.
and it does. Yeah.
We had a private detective follow Danny for about a month and a half.
Yeah.
And
Nice guy.
Very nice guy.
Yeah, you got to know him.
I did.
And he gave us a lot of valuable information about him that we're not allowed to talk about.
Yeah.
now he dances on command.
Mm-hmm.
What has this ride been like for you, Danny?
It's been pretty insane. I mean, when we made this film, it really was our only kind of goal was, when we were in college, we would just sit around and drink beer and watch movies, and we'd watch the same movies over and over again. And, we really just wanted to kind of make a movie that maybe that would be the lifespan of it, that we could make something that some other guys in college would sit around and drink some beers to and enjoy. And, so for it to get into Sundance obviously blew our minds. And then, I live in Virginia and Ben lives in North Carolina. Every time we'd come back out to LA, we would like hear of all these other people who had suddenly seen the film, and were so disconnected from anything that was happening here that, it's definitely been a pretty insane ride. And now I'm running around with this gentleman from Dinosaurs on Love and Lost. So, it doesn't seem real.
Danny, has anyone asked you in real life to do a demo?
To do a demon?
A demo.
I've done several demons.
he does demons by choice.
No, I've never been asked to do a real demo before, but that's not to say I couldn't do one. Jody left me with a lot of skills that I think
Imparted.
They had to train for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
3 hours. It was 3 hours over 3 weeks.
Well,
You're
pretty much a black belt.
Yeah. Well, the fascinating thing about Taekwondo, a lot of people don't know, is it's only useful against other people who know Taekwondo.
Otherwise.
One to have, yeah.
So, Will, when did you first see it, and what was it about that you said, I want to get involved in this?
I first saw it in my hotel room shooting when I was shooting Blades of Glory in Montreal, and I immediately urinated on myself, which has never happened to me watching a film before. And so my first reaction was like, I have a medical problem. So I went through a series of tests. I went to Scripps Institute for a battery of tests. And,
What kind of tests?
Psychological, physical.
Checking your urine,
They
bladder,
put me in a weightless
kidneys.
chamber.
Wow.
All these things. I'm like, this is way too much.
Yeah.
I feel like this is overkill. It turns out I was perfectly fine. So I continued watching the film. Meanwhile, Adam, you were watching the film as well. I called you up.
I had seen it, I was at home and just started, it's the kind of movie that makes you breathless, like you just watch it and you get so excited, and I called him up and he was at the Scripps and I couldn't reach him afterwards because you were doing the tests.
I was in my hospital room.
And they went to a second wave of tests.
And Adam called me in literally screaming, like, oh my God! Oh my God! I'm like, Adam, is your house on fire? What's going on? And call me back when you're calmed down.
So about 3 hours later, I called him back, and I'm like, my house is on fire. And he raced over there, and I was like, no, I just like this movie. And that was it.
Yeah.
We literally went over to these guys' house and gave them a briefcase with $80,000 in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the deal was sealed.
Yeah. Said, welcome to Hollywood.
Yeah.
Made us get that tattoo.
Yeah. Nice.
Okay, this is what happens.